Hey there. Well, today come out here, did my routine walk that I normally do, and overlooked this one right here in the path. This is a Persimmons. I started it from seed. I want to say 2018, and as you can see, I got stuff growing down the side tube. A split right there, but I think that'll be okay. I'll leave these two leaders alone. But one of the things that I do like to do is try to take care of these trees. And the tree tubes do a very good job as far as protecting these trees from varmints outside. And what I'm doing is I'm binding up the limbs so they don't get broke. I'm going to cut this around my way, it's aggravating. That's one down inside the tube I got to take out. But you got to try to see if I can't get this tube off here. I'm going to put a bigger tube on it. And while I'm at it, protect it from breakage. Well, turd. A bad zip tie. Set them down for a minute. There. Now I can really work on it. A lot of you guys that follow me on my page, you know that I do a lot of pawpaws. I love working with pawpaws. But pawpaws are not the only thing that I work with. And there, now she's ready to come up. I'm going to lift this tube up and I'm going to show you what I'm looking at down inside that tube. And what's down inside that tube has got to be cleaned up. The rest of them I've done cleaned up. As you notice, I got some stems that are down inside the tube growing, which will crowd that little tree, and we don't want that. We want that tree from here up to flourish, keep going. Put my gloves on so I'm going to get down there and clean the weeds out of the way that's grown up inside that tube. It's all about maintenance. Got to stay on top of things. This here was the one I cut off the top of. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. There. She's all cleaned up. One thing I like about these tree tubes is they promote that stem to grow straight. You don't get a lot of wiggly or whatever, but they grow pretty much straight. Now I got a different tree tube here. It's a bigger one. And we'll get this one put on real quick. go. Now the one thing about these tree tubes that help out a lot, it keeps deer from doing any damage, unwanted damage to your trees. And the tube itself is 5 foot. It's 5 foot is above the browse line of the deer. And that also works well as far as keeping the deer from eating on them. Later on down the road, because I got these 2 branches that came out, I'm probably going to come in here and cut around the edge of this tube to give them branches room, because that'll take the tube down to about 4'6", 4'8", which is still a good height. Some tree tubes you buy are 4-footers anyways. There, you see I use the twine to bunch that tree up so I don't break limbs when I take the tube up or bring the tube back in. Eventually the tree will be too big to be able to do that with, but while it's still young and tender, that's a good time to do that with it. You've got to take care of these trees. I got about 27 persimmons out here. I had stated earlier in a recent video that pawpaws are not the only trees that I grow. I've got crab apples, I've got oak, on back I've got chestnuts. And the most recent, as far as out here in my tree plot that I've started growing, is these persimmons. As I said, this right here was a seed that I had started in 2018. That tree is 3 years old. It has really grown. I have one right here. That's a 2017 tree that I had purchased from a nursery out of Michigan, Morris Nursery. Charlie Morris, good guy to work with. I bought quite a few of my trees from Morris Nursery. And it's supposed to be a meter. And another one back there, it too was started by seed in 2018. Put these out here for the wildlife. Put them out here for deer. They say once deer get into them, they become addicted to them. But anyways, get things put away. Got to go to work today. My name's Jim. If you like what you see, subscribe. And don't forget to click on that bell for notifications. Well, wait a minute. I don't think there's a bell anymore. Save button. I don't know what that does. But any comments or questions that anybody would have, I welcome them. Y'all have a God bless day.